All right, welcome back for the kids, teens, and teams video standards. We're gonna start with the kids, event 1. We've got sit-ups to begin with. So we're gonna use an ab mat. It's gonna be straight leg sit-ups. So ab mat will be placed, those lay back until shoulders and hands touch the ground, and then they'll sit up, and they must touch the tops of their toes each rep. All right, show me a couple more. Shoulders and hands touch, good, good, good. Of course, you can use your arms to sling right up there. Looks good. Next is going to be shoulder touches from the high plank. So we're asking that they're planked out on the toes and hands, and then they're going to touch alternating shoulders. So just like that, and it'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, just like so. So that'll be pretty quick. And then in that same position, we're going to have mountain climbers. The standard for the mountain climbers is starting from that high plank. When the foot comes up, the toe must come past the wrist of that hand each time. And that counts the same as the shoulder touches. Every step is a rep. 1, 2, 3. Good. All right, we have in event 2, we have burpees. Burpee standard, very simple. Getting the chest to touch the floor. Good. And then we're looking for a jump clap at the top, and we're looking for those hands to get behind shoulders and shoulders to be above the hips at the top. Chest to deck. Good. Show us a couple no rep burpees, not opening those hips. So that's not going to work for us there, guys. We're going to need that torso to come all the way up. There's a no rep on the clap. So making sure that we get all the way up in vertical for those burpees. Next, we have kettlebell deadlifts. Get to the side of you here. Kettlebell is going to start on the ground, and then just like that barbell deadlift, what we're looking for is standing it all the way up, shoulders ending up back behind the hips at the top, and touching the floor at the bottom every time. Looks good. We're going to ask that the stance is no wider than shoulder width on those, so there's not going to be any sumo deadlifting of that kettlebell. And finally, we have plate jumps. So it's going to be a 45-pound plate. And we're just like a box jump. We're going to be from the ground. We're going to jump up onto the plate. And then they can jump down or they can step down. At the top, obviously, we're looking for knee extension and hip extension. So we're going to ask those kids to stand tall for every rep on those plate jumps. Looks good. All right, we've got some ring rows in event 3. Event 3 for the kids. We have ring rows and med ball carry. So the ring rows, we're going to have a taped standard for this that will be very apparent on Sunday. We don't have it set up right now. But what we're looking for is in the bottom of that ring row, we're looking for the arms to be long. And then at the top of that ring row, we're looking for the elbows to end up back behind the torso for each rep.
Knees locked out?
Elbows locked out. Yep, knees locked out. That's it. Everything planked out. Looks good. And that's the ring rows for event 3. Now we have a bear crawl and med ball carry. So the bear crawl, all we're looking for is...
He's been looking forward to this demo for weeks.
is 2 points of contact at all time, at least 2 points of contact. So there'll be no bear galloping or anything like that. Yep, that'd be a no rep. So bear crawling down to the med ball, picking that med ball up, and then the athlete can carry the med ball any way they wish to get back to that starting position. That's it. Good. All right, so that's our kids division. Let's move on to the teens division. We're going to be at the barbell for event 1. Barbell is going to come from the floor for those front squats. So power clean or clean, either way. If the athlete cleans the barbell, then that counts as the first front squat. Okay. For the front squat, we're looking for hips below knees and then full extension at the top, knees and hips. Good. After the last front squat, they're going to go into their shoulder to overhead. Shoulder to overhead, we're looking starting standing tall, so you can't thrust her out of the front squat. And then you can, of course, push press, power jerk, split jerk, squat jerk, all of that. Good. Good. And they can, of course, touch and go on those shoulder overheads, but making sure that they're standing tall each rep, especially if we're power jerking. let's see where we're at. Deadlift and box jump. So we're still with the barbell here for event 2 for the teens. The deadlift, we've already covered this. Simply starts on the ground, standing all the way up, knees locked out, hips locked out, feet inside the hands, no sumo deadlifts. So standing all the way up, getting those shoulders back behind the hips, back behind the barbell at the top. Good. And then we have box jumps. Looking for full extension at the top. They can hop down, step down. They can rebound, whatever they choose to do. But both feet landing on the top at the same time, both feet leaving the ground at the same time, and reaching extension at the top. All right, event 3 for the teens is the same as event 4 for RX, or event 3 for my RX-ish and scaled division. So that's the calorie row and burpees over the erg. So we're not going to demo that. If you need that one demoed, you can check out the RX video. And finally, we're on the jump rope for event 4 for the teens. We have double unders or single unders. Double unders, of course, we're looking for that rope to pass under twice during the jump. Looks good. For single unders, we're looking for that rope to pass under once. Looks good. At any point in this particular workout for the teens, if an athlete chooses to scale one of the movements, we've given options for the scales on the website there. If the athlete chooses to scale, they will score no higher than anyone choosing to do the workout fully prescribed. So that looks good with the jump rope. After that, we have overhead plate lunges. Taylor, you want to carry that over to the orange box again? So the athlete will have their plate. It'll be overhead. Does not need to be locked out, but it must be over the head. It cannot touch any part of the body other than the hands. They're going to lunge out, kissing that back knee to the ground, and then they're going to step back, getting that foot back in the box each rep. Looks good. There will be a penalty assessed for dropping the plate on this. There will be a 30-second penalty. Plate needs to go back down to the ground, controlled every time. Beautiful. Let's see, where are we at? I lost it. Pull-ups or ring rows for the teens. We'll quickly demo that pull-up. We just demoed the ring row. Arms long at the bottom, chin breaking the horizontal plane of the barbell at the top. Butterfly, standard kip, strict pull-ups, all work. And back onto the bar, Taylor, for the toes to bar. So toes to bar being the RX movement here. Both feet striking the bar at the same time, touching the bar in between the hands, and at the bottom looking for the heels to come back behind the horizontal plane of the bar. Let's show them the knee raises. The knee raises. The knees must get above the hip at the top. Good. And at the bottom, we're looking for the knees to get back behind the hips. Good. So we're looking for those hips to be fully open at the bottom, getting those knees back behind the hips. Woo. All right, that's it for the teens. For the teams, there's not going to be a whole lot of demoing here. The event 1, this will be released on the website shortly, but event 1 is the same complex as event 1 for the other divisions, except you're going to be trading off with your partner. So both of the males will go first. It'll be a 2-minute AMRAP of that complex at 165 pounds, 1 deadlift, 1 hang clean or hang power clean, 2 front squats, and then a shoulder to overhead in some fashion, dropping it and letting the other partner step in and attack that same complex. There'll be a 2-minute AMRAP, there'll be a 1-minute exchange, and then the females will go for the same 2-minute AMRAP, same complex, and their weight is going to be 105 pounds. And like I said, that will be released on the website later today. Event 2 is the log carry with your partner. Now it can be the same-sex partners, it can be co-ed, it's however you'd like to do it, but it's going to start outside here. You're going to have a longer log. It's going to be much different than those little bitty logs there. You're going to carry down to the bottom of the hill in any fashion, and then come back up to the top where you'll exchange with the other duo of your team, and then they will do the same. They will carry down and carry back up, time stopping when they cross the finish line. There will be penalties assessed for a dropped log on this one. It will very likely be the same 30-second penalty assessed in the other divisions. We're gonna check on that. Yes.
Do they have to carry the log simultaneously? Like they both have to be carrying it?
They do not. If one person wants to carry that log, then they can take that on their shoulders by themselves and take off with it. But the logs will be heavy enough where you'll be wanting to double up on that. Let's see, event 3. So we do need a demo handstand push-ups. So for the handstand push-ups, it's gonna look slightly different than this. We will have an ab mat in between the plates, and we'll be using 25-pound Rogue high-temp plates, but we're gonna be kicking up. Hands must remain on the plates at all times. Starting from a locked out position, looks good. Then the athlete will go down, touch their head to the mat, and then come back up to full extension at the top. Feet will need to remain within the plate section. So yep, if the feet are out there, that's gonna be a no rep. You have to redo that entire rep.
No butt touching the wall.
No butt touching the wall at the top, that's right. The only thing we want at the top are heels touching that wall. And of course the athletes may kip, they can do strict, but at the top, if they're kipping, that butt does need to come off the wall. Looks good. The teams will have one section for their handstand push-ups, and they can switch as they deem appropriate among team members. Finally, event 4, all of these movements are very standard movements in the CrossFit world, so we're not going to demo every movement. I will, however, talk through this. You have Fran going first, followed by Grace, followed by Isabel, followed by Amanda. The Fran will be thrusters. We're looking for hip crease below parallel, and then lock out at the top, elbows locked out, shoulders in a fully flexed position, head through. And that looks good there. The pull-ups, we've already demoed pull-ups, so you know what the pull-ups look like. Grace, the 30 clean and jerks for time, it's just going to be ground to shoulder, shoulder to overhead, not needing to stand up. That ground to shoulder, you can go right into your shoulder to overhead. But what we're looking for is bar touching the ground every time, and then reaching a locked out position, everything extended at the top there. Isabel, 30 ground to overhead for time. So preferably power snatches, looking for a bar starting on the ground, and then the athlete reaching a locked out position with bar overhead every rep. So knees and hips fully open, shoulders and elbows fully open. Good? And finally, Amanda. We're looking for full snatches with the barbell. So the bar starts on the ground. Athlete snatches, catches in the squat, stands up. There will be no power snatch to overhead squat. So show them a no rep power snatch to overhead. This does not count as a full snatch. It needs to be a full snatch every time. And then muscle ups on the rings. Yeah, asking a lot of the big guy right now. So we're just looking for long arms at the bottom and then lockout at the top. Lockout must occur with shoulders over the rings. You cannot be falling away as you're locking out. That looks good. That workout has a 20-minute cap, and each individual piece is capped at 5 minutes. That means Fran happens in the first 5 minutes. If the athlete finishes early, then of course the next athlete may come in and begin their next piece. So if athlete 1 accomplishes Fran in 2 minutes, then that next athlete comes directly in and begins Grace and has all the way until the 10-minute mark before that Grace cap occurs. Isabel cap occurs at 15 minutes, Amanda cap occurs at 20 minutes. So hopefully teams will have built up a little bit of buffer room from Fran, especially Grace and Isabel, and give themselves plenty of time for Amanda. So one athlete must be doing one workout. No athlete may do 2 workouts on that event. Good?